We are live, Bet Like Mike Show, WinDailySports.com. Happy Friday. Oh, do we love our Fridays here on the Bet Like Mike Show. Mike North, how are you? You can follow him at North to North, star of the show. How you doing today, Mike?
I'm better than you are. I mean, my God, I got to look at your mug on social media. Check out
I
stuff
know.
here. I don't need your big face in front of me, and it wasn't big. In fact, you're quite slight. I thought you were a bigger man, but you're you know what I mean. You're not like a heavy set guy or anything. You're quite you're a regular guy. But I mean, you're crying, you're moaning. Things aren't going to happen, right? The 76ers, because you fell for the BS, the torn meniscus. Get off that. Clint Capella told everybody, John told everybody, he'll fatigue in the second half. That's the line on him. And he did it for 2 straight games. Now,
yeah, I don't want to hear Clint Capella when he got trashed for 37 points. I don't know.
Yeah, but you know what?
What happened to that game was more than just Embiid and kind of past Embiid.
I agree with that, but Embiid was 1 for 10 in the fourth quarter. Ben Simmons, I could look. Give me $1 million right now. I'll fly to Philadelphia. I'll make him a 70% free throw shooter. I'll make him 70%. He's got to stay in the gym. He's got to work out. And when he works out, he's got to shoot 1,000 free throws a day. What's wrong with this guy?
He's got to do something. And a lot of it's the mental part of the game. It's all just in his head, because this is even half of what, like, a 60% during the regular season. Like, that's not great, but
you got to get
to have that in half. Like, that's ridiculous.
Right.
It's all in his
Now,
head.
that being said, I'm going to have a pick on this game later on. You just said before, and by the way, we were 1-3 last week. I went 0-1 on the last show. We were off yesterday. John, devastated by not only the 76ers losing, but going 1-2, which is better than me, that didn't get a win. At least we got a win. We continue to keep everything close. If we're going to lose, we don't lose by a lot. If we're winning, we try to win by a ton. So we'll have picks, John. You got plenty of picks coming up, too.
I do.
So
yeah.
it's the fastest 20 minutes in sports. I tell John that before we come on. I remind him of that. So tonight, I mean, it seems to me from what you thought, and maybe, people always get down after a loss.
Right.
And I'm not only a player, but I've been in the media. You get down. I've been a fan. You get down, and then you bounce back up. Are you in the bounce back up stage for this game?
Sort of. I mean, the thing is, the Sixers were the better team.
Very confident, John. I gotta be honest with you.
Well, the Sixers were the better team in both games, and where the confidence doesn't come is the fact that they just can't close these games. There is something in their heads, or just the makeup of this team. For some reason, at the end of games, they completely fall apart. And this happened 2 games in a row. They were the better team in both games. I think they're the better team than the Hawks this entire series, but just this inability to close games, I would love to feel confident, because I know that how many 26-point leads can the Sixers blow, but at the end of the day, they've been blowing leads, and I don't know what the momentum's going to be like, what their mental, what their psyche is going to be. They might come out flat in this one, and I'm worried about that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Doc Rivers has got to get better. He's got to make in-game adjustments, which he always has failed to do. They're listing all the big leads that he's blown, not only in the playoffs, but in the regular seasons.
How does that follow him everywhere he goes? It's incredible.
Yeah. 5 of the biggest 8 leads in playoff history he's blown, over 20-point games, stuff like that. Here's what I would have done last game, because I coached 6 years. We took over a program that was under 500 at Notre Dame High School. I learned from the great Tom Les, Kevin Clancy, guys like that. I already knew the game. But the things that used to piss me off were turnovers, number 1, and free throws, number 2. Missed free throws piss me off. I don't care if you're a coach, if you're a gambler, if you're a player. You should be able to make free throws, especially if you're a guard. So I think Embiid got so incensed by the comments by Capella and others, he came out in the first half like that would be the end of the game. He's not.
And it really should have been.
Oh, it should have been, and there's no doubt. If I'm Doc Rivers, I would have, when they started hacking and pulled him. You got other guys on that team that are guards that can hit the shot. Now, do you ruin Ben Simmons for his psyche for a while? Yeah, well, learn to shoot free throws. It's clear that him failing to make free throws not only hurt by him not making points, but the other team getting points by subtracting points from him. I mean, it just was a tragedy. And I know that would be a down game for me as a fan. So I know what you were going through. I've been through those. I've been through the DePaul teams. I've been through the Cubs. We've all been through this, John. You know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Philly's been through this a time or two.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll have a pick in a little bit about that, okay? Now, I want to tell you about Philadelphia. All their sports venues are in the city, right?
Yeah, it's in the one area. There's basically a stadium complex in
right. I've gone by there. I've seen it. It's pretty cool.
It's an amazing area, yeah.
The Bears are putting in a bid for Arlington Park Racetrack, which is closing, okay? A great racetrack. And this happened in 75 with Mayor Richard Daley. If you move out of Chicago, you're not going to be called the Chicago Bears. Our lawyers will go to court. But I don't know if you read anything about this. They're trying to get out of the Soldier Field deal that's been going that's going to go till 2033.
33, yeah, I did see that.
It's the worst deal in American history. But here's what the mayor says. Listen to this. This is not, and she's out of her mind. She's the same mayor that, I mean, she's losing her mind the way things are going in this town anyway. But does this sound like you want to be enamored with this team? As a season ticket holder and longtime Bears fan, I am committed to keeping the Chicago name in our football team. And like most Bear fans, we want the organization to focus on a winning football team on the field, beating the Packers finally, and being relevant past October. Everything else is noise. The mayor of the city of Chicago. Just shade. What do you guys call throwing shade on the Chicago Bears, who started in Decatur, Illinois? All right? But that's a beatdown.
Is she wrong?
She's not wrong.
That was a lot of hard truths there, unfortunately.
My God. I understand. But, we've always taken pride, John, in the same thing I think Philly does, that we play all our sports in the city. But now it's time to move. Time to move. If you can get a deal out there in Arlington Heights, I didn't live far from there at one point, in Palatine, Illinois, plus Park Ridge is not far. Chicago's not far. You got better infrastructure. You'll have a big piece of land, plenty of parking. Put a dome in so you can make money all year round. I mean, that's the one thing I think. I was always big on outdoor stadiums, okay? And now that I'm not going to the games anymore, I'm sort of big on indoor stadiums. I don't know how you feel about that. I think you'd much rather watch a Philadelphia Eagle game in 65 degrees than in 20 degrees. That's just me.
No, I probably would. I love outdoor games, but yes, once you get into December in Philly and it's a week 17, now week 18 game that means nothing. And there was one that it was like 6 degrees against Dallas and the game meant nothing. It was a 6-0 game. Nobody wants to go to that. Like, no, let's get rid of these.
I went to the Bears 63 championship game with my uncles. I was like 9 years old. It was like with the wind chill 25 below. It was
nobody wants to go to that. Like, come on.
It's the most miserable experience of my life, which was going to follow many more miserable.
I see. I like the retractable roofs. That's great because then you can have the outdoor games. But then when you really need it, indoor, like, just please do it. I don't know if the Bears are. I guess Soldier Field isn't. I guess that's.
It's a dump. It's the Jetsons meet the Flintstones. It's just a bad deal. It's hard to get to, hard to get in, hard to get out. I'm sure.
That sounds great. That sounds amazing. That sounds like a great fan experience. That's every fan experience that I would love to go to.
It looks good from the Goodyear blimp. Okay, what I mean with the lake and everything else. Once you get down with the real people, forget about it. Okay. But she threw some shade on them. I bet golf yesterday. The easiest bet I've made was going against Phil Mickelson. The nonsense that he was going to, and he's not out of it yet. I don't know what's going on today. Yeah. They're still finishing the first round. But the nonsense that he was going to win a second straight major when in his prime. I mean, that was I bet Lee Westwood straight up against him. And Lee Westwood, he's a good golfer. He's been one on every continent, practically. That was easy. but I think this U.S. Open is going to be a good one. I think you got some young guns. You got some established pros. You got a lot of scores in the minus. I don't like tournaments that are minus 14 after one round.
No, you don't like minus 20, minus 25. I love those. It's great.
No, that's kiddie golf. I like the big
it's
boys.
Putt golf.
It's putt. You know what I mean? Hit the windmill. But minus 2, minus 3. Koepka's involved. DeChambeau. I lost. I bet him against Koepka, so I went 1-1 for the day. Koepka had a heck of a day, and Rory's lurking a little bit, you know. But I mean, to be able to watch golf as a guy at my age now, I love watching it and betting it all day long. It can't be beat, man.
It is pretty nice that the U.S. Open was still on at like 7, 8 o'clock.
Rory was on hole 3 at 5 o'clock or
right,
something.
That's amazing. To be on my show at 8 to 11 tonight and talking about golf, or at least watching it, that was pretty weird, but I like it. I'm okay with that. More of that, please. That's good.
Yeah, I just think that the U.S. Open, I mean, I'd rather win the Masters if I had a choice of the 4. I think that's the most prestigious. U.S. Open, of course. But to me, when they talk about the golf tournaments, the top golf tournament, I would think that most of us would want to try that green jacket on.
I would think so.
Right?
So. It's like there is always that one marquee event. Like with tennis, the other major events are cool, but everybody wants to win Wimbledon. Everybody wants to wear that green jacket. You know, it's the Super Bowl of that sport.
Is Wimbledon still going on? I remember when I used to care. I remember when I used to care about Wimbledon.
I very much do. It starts up next week.
Are you a tennis guy?
I'm a big tennis guy. Yeah.
Are you a betting tennis guy with Flash?
Tennis is a little because tennis
Johnny, all the guys.
Tennis, there is a lot of value, but you have to dig really deep in there is a huge player pool, and you really have to dig deep into some of these guys, like past histories, and it's a lot. It is a lot of work. So
yeah,
I'd stay away from
I bet one tennis match earlier this year. I got stomped. You know, it looked so good. I got stomped. So I forget, it was between two guys. It was on at 10 o'clock in the morning. I mean, you could go to the Tennis Channel if you want and watch matches from like Amazon Jungle.
And you can look up guys' results and stuff. But yeah, it's such a large tournament and player pool that it's really hard. Now, there are some that are really good at it, betting tennis, that I know I follow on Twitter and all that.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Great.
If they're hot.
Cash with Flash is good. Here at WinDailySports.com. Yeah, very good.
If our guy's hot, I'll ride with them. I mean, absolutely. That's what they're doing here on Win Daily Sports. That's what this is all about, ladies and gentlemen. This is where the people come and they play. Okay. We have a ton of stuff to give out as far as picks are concerned. How many picks you got total, my friend?
Right now, I have 2. I will likely have a third one by the time we get to it. Likely.
Really? Okay, then I'll start because I got 4. Okay? Is that okay with you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Don't get so excited. Jesus.
Okay. 4's that's good.
I mean, I just want you to tell you, I mean, we're trying to get some juice here. I know you're a little tired, but you're still dragging from that loss.
I'm not dragging.
I'm back in your head.
There's an impending doom that feels like it's coming today, and I'm just trying to brace myself for it. I really am. I'm trying not to get too excited about anything. I'm just bracing myself for what's to come.
Absolutely,
it's going to be bad.
Well, yesterday it was a mixed bag for me, but I had the St. Louis Cardinals yesterday, and they lost. They got their ass kicked 4-0. That's what we do. We admit when we win. We admit when we lose. We even admit I'll admit to you if I win or lose, or I'll tell you if I win or lose, even if I didn't give the games out. I'm going to go with the Cardinals minus 140 today, getting a 1.5 on the run line to bounce back against Atlanta. Atlanta looks like they're starting to crank a little bit. I know Freddie Freeman's starting to move a little bit, but I like what they got today, so I'm going to go with St. Louis to start things off.
I will start things off with the Giants of San Francisco, minus 129 against the Phillies.
Is that where they're from?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
I don't know why I did Giants of San Francisco. That was a little weird. I'm not going to lie.
I like that.
But they're taking on the Phillies today. Vince Velasquez on the mound. I am a big Vince Velasquez fan, but he has regressed a little bit in his last few starts. Cueto, since he's come back from injury, hasn't really been as great since he's, from the start of the season, which he started off really well. But the problem is Phillies are just really bad at home, 12-21. Giants are 22-9 at home. This is a really short line for a pitching matchup. I think it was mainly a wash, and the Phillies are depleted with a bunch of injuries. So I think the Giants at -129. That's a short enough line, which I'll take that.
All right, sounds good, John. Okay, my next game, ladies and gentlemen, another baseball game. When I wrote it down, it was -132. The New York Yankees, and I believe they're playing. Hold on here. They're not playing Oakland today, are they? No.
Who is that?
The New York Yankees.
Yes, they are actually playing Oakland today. Athletics and Yankees.
I can't believe the Yankees are going to win this in a cakewalk with everything I got. I thought I wrote it down wrong. The New York Yankees winning the cakewalk as the favorites.
Ooh, with Jameson Taillon on the mound too. That's okay.
Who?
I like that.
Who?
Jameson Taillon, the pitcher for the Yankees. He hasn't been very good. He's been all right. Yeah, he hasn't been good.
I understand, and hence the rub about them being the favorites, and
right.
They haven't been that good. And they haven't been that good. Okay, my friend.
So I'm going to do something really stupid, I think. It hasn't been stupid, but
that's what gambling's about.
The Rockies have won 4 in a row at home. I don't think they can make it to 5. I'm going to try it, though. Corbin Burns, his kind of obviously what Corbin Burns was doing to start the season was just otherworldly. And so obviously he's come back to down to earth a little bit.
Utter fixie.
Well, he could have been doing something a little spider tack. I'm not sure, but
what happened to his pitching mate last night? He got beat up.
Yeah,
you think just one guy? You think just one of the guys on the pitching staff is doing it, and the others aren't? Keep an eye on the Milwaukee Brewers staff, folks.
I'm gonna bet the Rockies at +170. That's a lot of money again for a team that's just that good at home, and I have to ride this as long as I can until they finally stop it. But I'm going with the Rockies for the 5th straight win at home and taking it at +170, even against Corbin Burns. I think things will get a little wacky, and I would bet the under on the K prop with Corbin Burns too. I'd have to check what the number is. Yeah, there's a bit of a trend with Colorado and pitching unders, so I think that's one I'm going to take as well.
Okay. All right, here's another one. Seattle, slight dog, +104. Playing Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay staggered a little bit by the Chicago White Sox. They're out to right themselves.
White Sox are pretty good.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, they got the beating yesterday, but they had one coming. I mean, it happens in baseball. Played a pretty good Houston team that I got nothing going with them today. I'm taking Seattle. The slight underdog in this one against Tampa Bay, my friend. Now, are you done or you have another one?
I have one more.
All right. People live for free. It's for free. All right. Let me just say it one more time. Free. Okay, go ahead.
Utah Jazz, 2.5-point favorites. I know they just lost and they're down 3-2, but I think they're going to be a little desperate. Now, this Donovan Mitchell, I know is dealing with an ankle injury, but he should play. Kawhi Leonard's dealing with a knee injury and is not playing. For sure. So I just the Clippers were able to come away with one. I don't think they're able to in this one. I'm taking Utah to take it to Game 7.
Yeah, I gotta believe the other night with your 2 NBA games, you probably
did not go
in
well.
The house.
Yeah,
did not go well. Pacing in the bedroom at 3 a.m. How could I do this? How could I do that? Well, I got one, and this is going to make you and everybody in Philadelphia happy. I want everybody out there in the Philly area. Make sure you listen to the gambler, Johnny J, as I like to call him. The 76ers are kicking ass tonight. It's not even going to be close. I'm unloading on this game tonight. How's that? That's how strong this play is. That should be good news for you. This should make you feel good. You're talking to one of the preeminent handicappers in the country, and you're going, like you're going to die, like it's D-Day, like you're hitting the beach, like you're in a plane that's hitting turbulence, like you're in a balloon where the helium is running out. That's not the way you're supposed to act, John.
I don't want to get my hopes up. I don't want to get my hopes up because they have disappointed me the past 2 games. And I'm just feeling I'm going to get back up again. I'm going to enjoy the Sixers for a half, and then they just beat me down again. I can't do it.
Well,
I can't
I
do it
want
again.
everybody to go. Now, let's go over real quick the games. Once again, St. Louis on the run line, -140, getting a run and a half. The New York Yankees, a favorite, -132. Seattle, a slight dog. I'm on my game today, +104. And now the Philadelphia 76ers, where I do know this, Embiid, you're no Will Chamberlain. 1 year he averaged 48.5 minutes a game and still wasn't tired. He went home to 5 or 6 women. Now to you, my friend.
Giants -129. I'm taking the Rockies +170 and the Jazz on the spread as a 2.5-point favorite.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is called entertainment. That's entertainment.
Entertaining,
That's
watching me absolutely be in misery. Watching.
you're losing your water. I'm here to guide you, my friend.
I'm
Ladies
glad
and
somebody's
gentlemen,
here.
Johnny, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you. We'll see you Monday.